Eric, what's shaking, Eric? Why don't you
Alright.
go ahead and tell whoever's going to watch this and even listen to it who you are and what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Start with kind of your age and where you live and etc.
All right. My name's Eric Anderssen, 37. I'm living right now in Wisconsin, just outside of Milwaukee. And I had moved to North Carolina 2 years ago. I was the head coach of a swim team out there. And I have a hip issue that I've been dealing with for decades now, it seems like. But was having a lot of chronic pain issues, and I went to a store to ask about CBD because someone had told me about that. I got CBD stuff, and it didn't help. And then I went back and asked if they had anything stronger, and they recommended this stuff called Kratom. And so I bought it just there at the store, just bought it with a credit card, and then it helped, but it ended up being very addictive. And now for the last year and a half, I have not been able to stop. And I've been taking it every day. And it's caused me to lose my last job. It's caused me to lose a lot. And I'm tired of it. And so Michael has been very, very gracious. And the Lord has been very gracious. And so I'm out here in Huntington Beach, ready to just learn how to put one foot in front of the other again. And
All right, who's Michael? That's me.
Michael,
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, why don't you go ahead and let's revisit the past a little bit and let's talk about how we met
Yeah.
and how many years ago that was and etc., right?
Yep. I was a student at Concordia University here in Irvine. I was a swimmer, and I got in trouble in school. I had to go to 5 AA or NA meetings. I looked up.
What year was that, please?
It was 2012.
2012.
2012.
And where are we at today? Can you tell me today's date?
2025, April 3rd, 4th.
April
4th.
3rd.
Is it? I think 4th. Is that
April 4th.
4th, yeah.
Well, what do I know? You know more than I do.
No, but yeah, it's been 13 years, almost 13.
13 years
and
since
actually, my clean date when I first met you was April 26th.
Wow,
2012.
how's
Yeah,
that?
so almost
Yeah.
exactly. 13.
Yeah, what's the longest time you've ever been absent without a drink and drug? Do you know?
Just over 2 years. Yeah.
2 years?
2 years, yeah.
All right. When I met you, you were a swimmer.
Yep.
Do you still think you can beat me in swimming?
I don't know.
Please say yes.
I don't know. I don't know.
For those of you that are listening and watching, I used to swim as a child. I swam Junior Olympics from the age of 5 to 13 and actually was a pretty fast swimmer, but those days are long gone. So go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah, so when I
when I met you at the NA meeting.
Yep, I had just qualified for the Olympic trials.
Yeah.
And
if it's okay to say, 4 months after I met you, you had 4 months clean.
Yep.
And you were swimming
again. Yep, swam
for the Olympic trials.
Yeah, for the Olympic trials.
Say it loud and proud, brother.
Yeah, no.
Not everybody can do that.
No.
And isn't it true that you were the 138th fastest man in the world back then?
I was 138th. No, so I was 278th in the world, 2012. I was 138th here in the country.
Oh, okay.
I was actually 88th at the trials. I was 138th ranking coming in.
And we're talking about 50 free, correct?
Yeah, the fastest.
Yeah, and the reality is what separates like number 100th and 120 is like, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, those guys are good. They're the top, but yeah. So I was out of my mind. I hadn't been able to stay clean. The longest I had clean was 6 days in 12 years, and then
Speak up just a little bit, please.
And then I met Michael at an NA meeting,
Yep.
and the Costa Mesa Alana Club, and he invited me to go and spend a weekend with his family. And at the time, I was a broken man, and all I really wanted was to be a good husband and a good father. And Michael invited me to his house that weekend, and I got to see him be an incredible husband to his wife, an incredible father to his kids, and he wasn't loaded, and he was telling me about a Jesus that I wanted to know more about. And so that had a tremendous impact on my life. And since then, there's been lots of ups and downs, but back out here.
Yeah. And you wanted to come out here, why?
Yeah, I wanted to see you, and I've been, because of this kratom stuff, and I've been going through just some turmoil up and down and inwardly, and so I just wanted to spend time with Michael and just recenter and remind myself who I was, and just get a good some time where I can just be around somebody who actually walks the walk and talks the talk.
Are you addicted to anything else other than kratom? Is it? Aren't you addicted to weed too?
Yeah,
and
kratom, weed. Yeah, that
then
was the
you
thing.
took up cigarette smoking.
Cigarettes. Yeah.
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 And we'll leave all the other sin, because sin is sin. But the reality is, your goal is to get rid of that stuff
Yes.
initially,
Yes.
right? So how much time do you have clean today?
Day one.
Today's day one.
Yeah.
You haven't taken any kratom.
No.
You haven't smoked a cigarette.
No.
And you haven't smoked any weed.
No.
How you feeling? Hopeful?
I feel
Yeah,
hopeful.
Nice.
Feeling a little sick, but hopeful. Really.
Yeah.
Hopeful.
What else would you like to share with anybody else that's listening, that's going through it? It's very difficult for me, or maybe even others, to have you talk about the power of the resurrection of Jesus Christ and so forth, because there you are sitting there still kicking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if our God was so powerful, why hasn't he done something in your life that has freed you from this? But our God has also given us free will and choices, right? And you haven't made the world's best choices.
Yes.
We know that our God reigns. He's the beginning and the end and everything in between, if we allow him to be. So, is there anything else you wanted to say in this initial startup video? And then we're going to do this every single day while you're with me. And we don't know what we're going to do with this video, but we just know that we want to glorify Jesus. Not necessarily with just our words, but with our life too. And the greatest gift that I can do is lay down my life for another. So here I am with Eric Anderssen. It's not the first time that Eric's been to my house. He's been here, I think, once or twice, is it?
I've been to this place twice. Yeah.
This place twice.
Mhm.
Yeah, you stayed with me for, I think,
30 days.
30 days
time.
at one point.
Yeah, but then just came back.
We had a
to
little
visit.
trailer out in the front of the house, and then the neighbors complained about it, so we had to get rid of that. But were you at the other house too?
Yep.
You went to the other house as well. So this isn't the first rodeo, but it's not about where you've been, it's about where you're going and where you're at today. So is there anything else you want to say to the viewer just for today?
Just for today, you don't have to use no matter what.
Yeah. Well, listen, I just want to say thank you, and I commend you. Once again, I decided to do a video with you, and with your blessing, and we're not sure where we're going to go with this. I do have a YouTube channel. We might put it on that, and but we will let the Holy Spirit guide us on how we're going to move forward. So right now, I drove from Arizona, because I moved to Arizona with my beautiful wife 42 days ago. So yesterday, on the 41st day, I drove out to meet with Eric here. He was going to come in last night, but the plane got delayed, so he just stayed in Colorado, and I picked him up today. And what have we been doing today? We've been shopping.
Yeah.
We went shopping for food. I was able to drop about $600 on food for. I've got my two sons that live at the house here, and I wanted to be a blessing to them as well. It's good to see my boys. So Eric, I love you, brother. We're on this journey together, and we'll just say goodbye to whoever's watching for now.
Yeah.
So see you later.
See you later, guys.
All right. Love you guys.